We can talk a little bit about breakfast here. We talked about smoothies, again, being something that a lot of people do have for breakfast in the health and wellness space. But let's talk about growing up, what you had for breakfast every day, which was Nutella on a crepe, which is going to
Yes,
totally spike blood sugar. But
absolutely.
now one of the hacks, and you've moved towards this, is having a savory breakfast. So talk about how that can make a big difference when it comes to the glucose.
So the science shows us that if you take two breakfasts of equal number of calories, so it's not about the calories, one is sweet, one is savory. The sweet one is going to make a big glucose spike in your body. You're going to be hungry again faster, you're going to have cravings for the rest of the day, and you're going to have less available energy for your body. Second one is savory, so smaller glucose spike. You feel full for longer, your energy is steadier, you help your body short-term, long-term, and things go well. So it's a really simple thing to keep in mind. In the morning, nothing sweet. You can still have starches, so you can still have bread or whatever, but avoid sweet things. The best time to eat something sweet is as dessert at the end of a meal, not first thing in the morning when you're fasted.
Well, let's further pick that apart. So if you're I like this one because if you're going to have something sweet, you just mentioned, have it as dessert.
Yeah.
And one of the other hacks, again, tying in, is not to have that as a standalone. If you're going to don't have a snack, rather save that snack or whatever it is you want to have that's sweet and have it after a meal because it's going to have a better impact on your glucose.
Exactly.
Talk about the nuances there.
Yeah. So it's interesting because, getting your glucose levels in a good place is not about cutting out all of the carbs from your diet. It's about learning when and how to eat them so that the impact on your glucose levels is lessened. So in this case, for example, you're walking around and you pass by this store and you're like, "Ooh, this cookie looks really, really good." Pick up the cookie, but don't eat it right then on an empty stomach. Keep it for dessert after your next meal. That way, during your day, you're still having the pleasure and the positive impact on your, whatever brain chemicals of that cookie. But if you have it at the end of a meal, because of everything else in your stomach, the impact on your glucose will be much, much smaller. So you'll create less inflammation, less aging, etc. It's not about necessarily changing what we eat, but how we eat has a big impact as well.
If you enjoyed that clip, press here for the full episode. I'll see you over there.
90% of the population has glucose spikes every day without knowing it. And so I dove into the research and I discovered that actually there were things I could do, principles I could use that would allow me